Hello, everyone. Welcome to part 2 of Homestead. Without much delay, let's jump straight in. From where we left off from, we managed to kill for withers and set up more beacons. Unfortunately, some things didn't get completed, such as upgrading to more pickaxes, and that is what I want to start off with today. But first, we need some XP levels. So, let's kill some zombies. I'll see you at level 50. And perfect. Let's see if we are lucky enough for some silk touch. Amazing. Now we can fully enchant. Of course, the anvil breaks. There's always another thing to do. All is as right as rain again. Nice. We had just enough levels. Allow me to organize my inventory. Then, let's go down into the mines. And get some more beacons. Wasn't that a good montage? Pretty cool and entertaining, right? It took 2 whole days to edit. So, for their hard work, please thank my editor. Now for a confession. The idea behind Homestead was to improve my home, and it would be a lie if I said the terrain behind my home didn't correlate to my decision to pursue this as a project. Unfortunately, digging isn't very entertaining. However, we can quickly get past this by talking over the dull segments. Finally, all the dirt has been placed. Now I place dozens of torches in an attempt to protect my home from creeper attacks. Then I can assemble a final barrier, a deep slate wall. Now that I have grown to thoroughly despise landscaping, after doing it for many hours, it's time to fix a long-standing issue I've had behind the scenes. I originally built the iron farm close to my home in order to have it run continuously. The problem with having a farm that runs continuously is that the storage for the farm quickly fills after I leave it alone. So, after taking care of the built-up items, my goal is to expand and improve the farm's storage system so I can abandon it for longer. And done. Now I did attempt to use the new autocrafters to automate the iron block making process, so I could visit there even less. But after half an hour, I couldn't figure it out, so typical item sorter it is. Now it's time for a short break from all the base modifications. So I'm going to collect materials for the future project that I mentioned in the last episode. By the end, these shulkers are going to be full of stone. Now, with all the landscaping and resource gathering behind me, it's time for the last two pieces of the Homestead project. I had plans from when I first built the villager breeder to turn it into an actual build that fits the rest of my home's aesthetic, like how I did for the trading hall. And with the breeder being separate from the trading hall, it forced me to build a track for the villagers so they couldn't wander into harm's way. So, if I could combine the two structures, I wouldn't need such a in the way mine track, and I could have all my villagers in one place. But of course, before I start, there is one side project I must do, which is to move my trees. So I can move them to a better position, and so I can incorporate other wood types into the farm. Good enough for now. Now, first things first, deciding what side of the hall is going to hold the breeder. Originally, I thought the west side, but now I am leaning more towards the south side. So the entrance to the hall and the breeder align along the same axis. And yeah, after marking the spot, I'm liking the south side a lot more. The easiest thing to start with is to make the garden first and then to move the farmers into it. Alright, I moved the villagers, but in an unfortunate turn of events, one of them suffocated in transit. So, another side project. Congrats, you survived. Now it's time for your life of indentured servitude. I'm going to finish off this farm, and then we'll move the villagers. It always starts with stairs. But maybe something like this will look better. I love how the pillars fill out and bulk up the build. build is filling out quite nicely, with all the details and greebles. After a while you fall into a repeatable pattern that ties everything together. I think iron bars fit more with the aesthetic. And with the addition of a few final torches, we are done. Now all that's left is to find a way to transport all the other villagers from the old farm over here. I think I figured out the best way to transport these villagers. Off camera, I built this giant water pipe which will slowly slide the villagers into the farm. If I can get the villagers into the main tube, it should be smooth sailing from there. And look at that. Some villagers swam on their own. Hopefully they don't get stuck. Looking pretty good to me. Now to wrangle up these last dozen villagers. God, is it cramped in here? Just need to place one more sign. Alright, up the tube, everybody. All you guys need to go. Go on, get up the pipe. Ah, the last one. That should be it. Looks like they all made it. All that work finally paying off. Now I'm a little saddened that I'm about to dismantle the old farm, but I'm proud of what's been done thus far. Truly the end of an era. With the end of that solemn note, the last thing we're doing today is building a mob farm to hopefully make back some of the gunpowder I lost while stand raiding. So for the last time today, let's begin. And yes, before anyone asks, I changed the tree farm in between scenes. The first thing I need to do is loosely mark where the farm is soon going to be. And before I get into building, it's time to venture into the caves in search for amethyst crystals. Let's make searching a little easier. There, much better. There it is, after clawing my way through these caves. Perfect. Now I have easy access. And it's not too far from home. Now I won't need the amethyst until I start decorating the farm. But first I need a farm to decorate. Looking at the farm, I might need to push it back even more so it doesn't block up the beacons. Building this farm from memory is harder than I thought. Nice, spawn platforms done. There, a waterway that works. Water collection system done. Now, like the villagers, I'm going to build a tube of transportation. That's a lot of creepers. Right now, this mob grinder is super bare bones, even after slapping on a roof and adding the redstone switch. So let's christen this build by decorating it in the last montage of the video. Well, you shouldn't be trapped. All the way up here. Since the tube is 1 block thick, spiders will clog up the pipe. So maybe we can fix that as well. I do like having the hoppers along this side though. If I make the bubble elevator 3x3, I can keep all these hoppers over here. Oops. Oh no. And we are finally done. Look how cool this farm became, both inside and out. With that, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's quest, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.